It's almost Mother's Day, and you can now get anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. So no, you can't order a relaxing shower, but some beautiful flowers, you bet we deliver those. A bird bath? No. A bath bomb? Absolutely. It's no to a chocolate lab, but yes to some chocolate truffles. So whether it's a last-minute gift for Mother's Day, fresh groceries, or food from your favorite restaurants, get it delivered today with Uber Eats. Order now. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This is Cop Talk, talking crime, cases, and backing the blue. Now, here are your hosts, Captain Ed Mehmet and Detective Kevin Schroeder.
Hello, everybody. This is retired New York City Police Captain Edward Mamet. We're here for another session of Cop Talk. Our host, Kevin Schroeder, is again on some clandestine investigation somewhere. And if this keeps up, he may not be the host. He may become the co-host, and I will be the host. Anyway, wherever he is, I'm sure he will listen to us at some point. Today, we have a very interesting guest who is the Northeast Territorial Manager of a boot company called HAIX. HAIX manufactures boots for law enforcement and I believe the military worldwide. And he is a retired New York City police detective. He spent 12 years in the New York City Police Department in the 32nd Precinct and the 19th Precinct. He was also a PBA delegate, and he was 19 months in Thornton, Colorado, wherever that is. And now he is in another life. So I'm going to introduce him. Say hello, Mike Roos.
Hi, Ed. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I do have to make one quick correction. I took early retirement as a police officer, not a detective.
Oh, why'd you do that? No, why did you take an early retirement?
Me and my wife needed to change the scenery, and we moved out to Colorado and spent 6 years out there, and it was great for our life and for our marriage and for our family, and it was the right time for me to leave. That's
quite honorable. Speaking of your background, why don't you tell us about your background in law enforcement?
Yeah, so I started with the NYPD in 2006, July of 2006. And I went to the 3-2 right out of the academy, did impact there, and then the first summer did the Rucker basketball tournament. And then I did 4 to 12s for a few years, and then I switched over to late tours to midnights. And then I was a PBA delegate there for many years. And then when I wanted to change the scenery from there, I transferred down to the 19th. Spent a few years there. It was a great place to work. Did midnights down there, and I was a delegate down there as well for the PBA. And then I also did field training, so I was an FTO when the FTO program started up, the newer one, back in, that was probably 2015 or 2016-ish. 2017, like I mentioned, took early retirement, vested out. Me and my family moved to Colorado, lived out there for 6 years. I was law enforcement out there for just under a year in Thornton, Colorado, a great department. But at the time, there's some things going on in the family, and one of my family members got sick, and it was time for me to step away from law enforcement to focus on some family things. And yeah, I transitioned to civilian life and found a great safety partner out there who did safety sales, and they're looking to expand into the first responder market. And I happened to meet up with them at a networking event, and we kind of just went from there.
So how did you get involved with HAIX?
So that company that I mentioned, company in Colorado, is the Becker First Responder Company, a great family-owned company in Colorado. They primarily dealt with industrial safety, but the owner was branching into fire and police departments, doing equipment and uniforms and things like that. And with my background, me and him got linked up. He wanted me to do sales for them. So it was kind of a natural transition. I started working for them and helped build the company up on the first responder side. And we primarily actually sold to fire departments because HAIX also, the biggest part of our U.S. market is to fire departments. So that's how I became familiar with HAIX. I was in sales with them for about 4 years, and then when me and my wife decided to move back closer to the East Coast to be closer to family, I saw that the territory in the Northeast was open for HAIX, and since we had sold their products and I believed in their products and their boots, it was a natural transition for me. I reached out to them and started the interview process, and things just kind of went from there.
Can you tell us more about the company HAIX? I understand they've been in business since 1948. Is that true?
That's true. So HAIX started in Germany. It's a German-based and owned company. It's a family-owned company. They're on the third generation. The grandchildren of the founder are in charge of the company now. All of our boots are made in either Germany or Croatia. So everything is, and all of our materials are European Union sourced. We actually bid on our leather for our boots at the same tanneries that like BMW, Mercedes, and those high-end car companies bid on for their leather, for their seats in their cars. HAIX came over to North America, I believe, in the late 90s, primarily with the fire boots to break into the North American market. And as a company, we've got a pretty good grip on the fire market. We also do workwear, forestry boots. We do law enforcement boots as well, and we're working to expand our reach into law enforcement with our great boots. I honestly, when I was a cop, I wish I had known about HAIX. I would have been wearing them my entire career.
Well, that sounds pretty good. HAIX is doing something very interesting. That's how we got to contact the company and you. They're offering, I believe, 1,000 pair of boots to be field tested to cops around the country, and they're called Black Eagle. Is that correct?
That's correct. So our Black Eagle line, we have a tactical and an athletic within the Black Eagle. We have 3 models that we're offering in our 1,000 pair wear test. We have 2 of our 6-inch side zip models, one of the athletic version and one of the tactical version. And basically what that means in our verbiage, if it says tactical, that means it's a waterproof or a Gore-Tex lined boot, so a full leather option. And the athletic offers like a textile window on the side of the boot, so more like a fabric. So it's not waterproof, but it's breathable. Both of the 6-inch boots have side zips on them, super comfortable. They both have a shinable toe for those departments that need a shinable toe as part of their SOP for their uniform guidelines. We're also offering one of our 8-inch models. It's a 8-inch tactical Gore-Tex model for those officers who want a little bit more ankle support and just higher up on their calf. What they have to do is go to our website and they can sign up for the law enforcement wear test. They put in their information, and then if they're drawn, they get a free pair of boots to wear test and to get feedback on.
Well, how and why did the idea of wear testing come about with this Black Eagle boot?
The way we look at it is the best way to get our boots and our name out there in the law enforcement markets for people to wear our boots. A lot of people haven't heard of our company in the law enforcement market. We're working to change that, and this is one of the ways to change it. If we get people into our boots to wear them, to see how they work out in the field, how people feel when they wear them, and the durability of our boots. Our tactical boots have a 2-year warranty, whereas most companies only have a 1-year warranty. That's how we feel that we're going to be able to get the foothold in the market, which once the demand rises from the end user, and then local police stores and uniform stores will want to stock our boots, and that's how we can grow our business.
Has this done before, such a mass testing process taken place?
I believe HAIX has done it in the past year or 2. Forgive me, I don't know how many years back they've gone with it. I just started with the company in April, but I know they did it last year and it was very successful. And I know that through our partnerships and promotions like this, we've been able to expand our reach into law enforcement. Like I know we've been sponsoring the FDNY versus NYPD hockey game for many years to try and expand into the fire and police market in New York City. And this 1,000 pair wear test is also another way to try and get some boots on the feet in New York and also around the nation.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned hockey. Our host, Kevin Schroeder, is very much into hockey. And if you've seen listened to some of our podcasts, we had Ron Duguay on in the past. He's very friendly with Kevin Schroeder. So hockey is part of our line, sort of.
That's awesome.
Is the Black Eagle a new line?
The Black Eagle is newer. We have had traditional. We do have some traditional models. Our newest traditional patrol boot is the M4X, but the Black Eagle is a more athletic series of boot. It's constructed more like a sneaker, so it feels a lot lighter. That's the biggest thing that I see when I'm in meetings with police departments is when they feel the boot, they feel how light it is compared to like a traditional patrol or duty boot. So it's formed and injected. The sole is injected very similar to a sneaker. So that's how it's going to feel. Our leather does tend to take a little bit longer to break in than some other boots, but that's because we use all bullhide leather on our boots. And the reason why we use bullhide over cowhide is bullhide is evolved to not stretch, whereas the cow's hide, the female cow, their hide is evolved to stretch and contract when they're having babies and having calves, whereas bulls, once they reach maturity, their skin is static, and that's the leather that we use for all of our boots.
Well, I just learned something about the bovine species. How has the response been so far to your promotion?
It's been very good. We've had a lot of emails coming in, and we're looking to add more. And our goal is just to get as many of these boots out there and to people that will spread the word for us, that will become HAIX fans, because that's what we believe, that once we get the end user to become a fan of our product, they will tell their friends, they will tell their colleagues, they will tell the people in their office or in their precinct, on their shift, and it'll just grow from there. And that's how we believe we're going to grow in the law enforcement market.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Some things work better together, like NARS's Soft Matte Complete Concealer and Radiant Creamy Concealer. Soft Matte Complete Concealer erases and blurs imperfections with full coverage. Then, Radiant Creamy Concealer evens and brightens with a luxurious texture and radiant finish. 2 concealers, 1 flawless look. Perfect for a no-foundation base. NARS, better together. Visit Ulta to shop now.
This message is brought to you by Abercrombie Kids, where the activewear is made for every summer activity, so your mini-me can bring their personal best. Summer days are always an adventure, from day camp to rec leagues and pool days. Abercrombie Kids has the shorts, tees, and swim to keep them comfy and keep up with them. Get everything for the entire summer at Abercrombie Kids. Shop in-store, online, or in the app.
Well, many of our listeners are police officers nationwide. So if they hear this podcast, they will maybe interested. When is the promotion over?
August 31st. So we have a couple more days.
Oh, okay. And have you reached the goal of, 1,000, right?
We're going to be choosing 1,000. I don't know the exact number where we stand as of right this second.
Well, are there any cops already wearing Black Eagle boots, like here in New York or in the Northeast?
There's many spread out. I don't have like a list of departments because many departments, like the NYPD, they run off an allowance system, so people buy them individually. But we do have Suffolk County Sheriff's has worn our boots. New York State Police wears our boots. They wear a different style. They wear more of a duty type boot, not a Black Eagle boot. But New York State Police has been wearing HAIX boots for many years, and we have other departments throughout the nation that wear it. I don't have tracking for individual sales, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. But do police departments that you've been in touch with, do they need to approve these boots for footwear tests, or the cops just get them and try them on their own? That's a case-by-case basis, to be honest. Some departments have systems where they will give kind of a broad, generic, like you just need to have a black boot that's shinable, that looks presentable at roll call, and each officer can wear what they want. Some departments will have, say, 3 to 4 different styles that they're allowed to wear on patrol, and then those individual officers can use their allowance to go purchase one of those styles at their local police store or online. So it really varies. But we're happy to, if somebody wins a wear test, gets a free wear test through the promotion, if their department needs to speak to somebody further, I'd be happy to go meet with that department to explain to them how our boots work and our features and benefits. That way they can get our boots on the approved list so that officer can wear the boot, and then hopefully that will spread to his colleagues. What are the most important factors to consider when choosing footwear for law enforcement officers? I would say durability is number one, especially if you're working on an allowance system. Uniforms are not cheap these days, and I'm not going to mention other companies' names, but I know when I was in the field, I would go through probably 2 pairs of boots a year, and that adds up. Where our boots, we have a 2-year warranty. Our boots are going to last you. They're going to be very comfortable. Our boots do have a lot of arch support where some boots don't. So our boots kind of force your feet to be in their natural position. So it's going to help your knees, your lower back when you're wearing your duty belt. It's going to keep you upright when you're walking and running to keep your body in the healthiest form that it should be. And, quality and the company, where your boots are made. We make all of our boots in Germany or Croatia, like I mentioned. We do not use any child labor in our manufacturing process. We're very adamant about that. And all of our material is sourced from Europe. So it's all high quality material. So you can feel good about the purchase when you purchase a pair of our boots and wear them out in the street. Well, since the boots are manufactured in Europe, I assume that you have a large European market. Am I correct?
Correct, yes. So HAIX is very prominent in Europe, and since we brought it over here, we distribute our boots out of Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. And usually, unless, obviously, most cops are going to buy their stuff online or at a local cop shop. But our boots have a pretty quick turnaround since we're in Lexington, especially the East Coast. So if somebody orders a pair of boots, they're getting their boots, standard ground shipping within a week or so.
So how are you outreaching to the police officers for this test? How are you making contact with them?
So we're doing it on email lists. We're also doing social media blasts, Facebook, Instagram, and also word of mouth. I'm sending out messages to all my friends that are still on the job in New York. I'm using my own Facebook to spread the message. I know the email campaign is the biggest portion of it. And then I'm also visiting when I visit with police departments because I'm on the road doing sales. When I visit with them to show them our boots, I also tell them when I'm out on the road.
Yeah, well, you had a pretty good advertisement in Police Magazine. That's how we discovered you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm leaving stuff out, and I don't want to discount the work that our marketing team does because they do a great job. They're doing stuff that us as outside sales reps don't even know about, but all of us together are trying to push for the same goal.
Hey, Mike, this is Joe Diamond, the Cop Talks producer. Good to hear from you.
Hi, Joe.
So I got some questions. I'm fascinated by technology and especially AI, how it's revolutionizing just about everything in law enforcement. So boots, it's one of the most essential items a cop can have, and you can't get more down to earth than boots. Is anything happening with your company that sort of incorporates AI or this new technology into footwear?
I see. I don't know that anything is being done currently. That being said, our developers over in Germany are always trying to stay on the leading edge of everything. So they could be working on stuff that over here in the States we don't even know about yet. So there may be something on the horizon. I do know that some of our fire boot models, it's not really a sensor, but we do offer bots on the fire boot where departments, because some fire departments will use a digital inventory system for their PPE, where you can put a RFID chip in the boot, which tracks the boot on the inventory system. And some of these inventory systems in the fire service are pretty advanced. They can track steps, they can track cleanings, they can track how many fires that boot was at, how many medical scenes that boot was at, how many hazmat scenes that boot was at. So our newest boot, the Fire Eagle Extreme, offers that option for the department to place the RFID chip inside a specific pocket made for the RFID chip in that boot. It's kind of vague and broad for us. We don't single out one particular inventory tracking company, but there are a few on the market that are working with fire departments that can get pretty granular on their boots, since it is an issued PPE piece in the fire service, whereas on the flip side in the police department, majority of the boots are purchased individually or through an allowance system, if that makes sense.
Well, I like the phrase. I like the phrase you used: "bots in the boot." There you go. I mean, that's a great marketing campaign right there. So, if cops want to sign up for this, if they want to sign up to be testers, what's the website? Where can they go to sign on?
It's HAIX, HAIXUSA.com, and they'll see the banner for the law enforcement wear tester, and they can click on that, and then they'll go in and they'll fill out their information. They can also look at the models that are available for this wear test, and they can also check out our other models if there's something else that interests them. It's just there's 3 specific models that are part of the wear test.
And they're all Black Eagle, yes?
Correct. And the good thing about Black Eagle is we have a full Black Eagle line. Once you know your size and you fit and you like the Black Eagle, if you're ready to try out a different style, the size will be the same.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you this. Do the boots, does the military, any of the military organizations around the world, are they interested in these boots? Like the German Army, for example?
So we do have our boots in many militaries around the world. Some of the NATO countries buy our military boots. But in the U.S., the U.S. military does not buy our military versions because they're not made in the United States.
Uh-huh.
They have a specific clause where they have to be made in the United States. On the flip side of that, Capitol Police has bought our boots. The Border Protection, certain sections of it do wear our boots. So there are federal agencies that do wear it. It's just the military itself does not buy our military boots. But there are international militaries that wear our boots, certainly.
I'm assuming the German Army would be wearing your boots if they're made in Germany.
I would think so. That I can't speak on that specifically, but I know HAIX is in Europe is a household name because they've been around for so long, and their quality is just outshone a lot of the competition.
Well, all right. Well, this was a great presentation, and we want to thank you very much for the work you're doing and for appearing on our show. And hopefully the police officers that hear this podcast will reach out to you for their free boot, and the sales will go the way they should go.
That would be great. And I really appreciate you guys having me on and investing your time with me. Thank you.
I would like to thank everyone for listening to another episode of Cop Talk. I hope you enjoyed the show today. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. You could also follow us on Twitter at Cop Talk WABC. That's at Cop Talk WABC. Until next time, be safe out there.